If you are a senior and you're on food stamps, I have breaking news. SNAP benefits are going to be impacted during the government shutdown, and this is going to affect millions of seniors who are already struggling to afford food. Now, I wasn't going to cover the government shutdown because I am tired of it. Every few months, they bring us to a brink, threatening a shutdown because politicians refuse to do their job. But this is pretty serious. And when the government issued a press release asking all government agencies to prepare for mass layoffs, but also prepare for interruption in services, that caught my attention. So dug in and did the research, and I want to share with you what's going to happen to your SNAP benefits during the government shutdown, how your benefits are going to be impacted, what government services are going to be open during the shutdown and what is not, so that you can prepare and understand how your benefits are going to be impacted during a government shutdown that we all do not want. We would rather the politicians just do their jobs and keep the government open, but we have to prepare. So I'm here with all the details. My name is Kwame Kwade. I am a government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. I create content on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and other personal finance issues that impact seniors both in and out of Congress. If you are new here, welcome. I am glad you're here. Do me a quick favor, go into the comment section and let me know your city and your state, because I like to know where you guys are watching my videos from. If you've been watching my channel for a while, welcome back. I am glad you're here. We have a lot to cover, so let's jump right into it. So I am sharing this article that just came out from the AARP detailing what's going to happen with food assistance, which is one of the most critical assistance programs for seniors trying to lift them out of poverty. There are over 6 million seniors that get food stamps. So this is a lot of people that are going to be impacted, but by something that should not even happen in the first place. So let's read through the article. So it says, as Congress stares down the barrel of a possible government shutdown on September the 30th, today is September the 28th, 29th, beneficiaries who receive food aid under the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program are are not expected to experience delays in getting their benefit, at least not immediately. And that's where I want to explain, because when after a certain number of days, if the shutdown continues for a certain number of days, then food stamp benefits are going to be impacted. So let's read some more. You officially, the USDA, which administers SNAP, said in its 2024 guidelines that core programs of the nutrition safety net will continue during a lapse in federal funding, subject to availability of funds. Those are critical phrases there. But if the government shutdown drags on for an extended period, SNAP funding could be depleted, potentially delaying food aid for however long it takes for lawmakers to reach an agreement. SNAP supports about 11 million adults 50 plus. I said 6 million, so I was even incorrect there. It's 11 million seniors over 50. On average, older Americans receive about $6 per day in benefits, which is about $180 a month. And so this is a lot of help that is going to be interrupted if this goes through. A spokesman for the agency did not immediately respond to questions about updates to its plan for this year. So we are trusting that if the shutdown is short, everybody gets their money and there's no interruption. If it extends for a long time, then we are in trouble. But the question is, how long can it go? Well, I'm going to share something with you before I come back and read some more. So I dug up some article about government shutdown to get some idea of how long this could go. So here is the article from US Facts. Everything you need to know about a government shutdown. So, what is a government shutdown? A government shutdown occurs when Congress fails to pass or the president refuses to sign a spending bill to fund the federal government's operation. This results in funding gap that can cause several government functions to be temporarily disrupted. Government shutdowns are often resolved by Congress passing continuing resolutions which provide short-term funding while negotiations for a long-term solution continue. Every shutdown since 1990 has been ended with the continuing resolutions. So, When was the last government shutdown? The last government shutdown occurred in 2019, in part over disagreements regarding President Trump's proposal to fund or build a wall between the US and Mexico. So that was 2019. Now, how long did it last? It lasted for 34 days from December the 22nd to January the 25th. That was quite a while. But here is a history of government shutdowns from 1976 all the way to 2019. You can see 2019 was the longest for 34 days. There was the one that famously defined the shutdown period where that became a political tool, which was the 1996 one when Newt Gingrich was Speaker of the House. So that was when Bill Clinton was president. So let's talk about what government services are impacted. A shutdown primarily affects non essential federal employees as well as people and businesses that rely on government services. So, what federal agencies are impacted? Well, I'm going to get to that section. As the specific agencies and services affected by a government shutdown depends on the details of the funding legislation that is in question. Okay, that's important to know. Past shutdowns have affected numerous agencies and services, including the National Parks and Monuments, federal museums, federal research funding, processing of certain government benefits. So, as you can see, SNAP benefits falls under that category, and the IRS taxpayer services is also impacted. What services are not impacted? Many essential government services continue to operate during a shutdown, either because they are exempted from furlough to ensure public safety and welfare or are funded through outside annual appropriations. So, Social Security and Medicare should relatively be okay. Military and law enforcement, federal, U.S. Postal Service, Air Traffic Control, and U.S. Passport Agency. So let's get back to talking about how this all affects your SNAP benefits in details by going back to that AARP article and reading the essential parts of it. So it's saying that if funding for the program, the SNAP program, expires, the USDA typically has some carryover reserves to cover benefits for a limited period of time. That is according to Gina Platonino, interim SNAP director for the Food Research and Action Center, a nonprofit organization. SNAP benefits also usually set aside to be paid out in a month in advance. Also, October benefits will be routed to states for payout by the time the shutdown occurs. So basically, it means that funding is already in process. So if the shutdown does not last more than 30 days, we should be okay. But if it drags on beyond 30 days, then we are in uncharted territories. During shutdown, retail food retailers will not be able to renew their electronic benefit transfer licenses if they expire during the time. That means that they will not be able to accept SNAP benefits according to the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget. In addition, federal workers could be furloughed until the budget deal is reached, but the USDA said in the last year's guidance that the limited number of employees could be retained in order to continue operations. And so state SNAP offices which process new applications and benefit recertifications will continue to operate as normal in the event of a government shutdown. But states do rely on some federal support to administer SNAP, so certain customer service functions, such as issuing new cards, might be impacted if a shutdown is prolonged or more federal staff members are furloughed. So, as lawmakers remain on impasse over the federal funding, SNAP is just one of the number of critical government services that older adults rely on that could be affected by a shutdown. So that is where we are with the government shutdown. And I wanted to bring this to your attention so that you understand what is happening and how your SNAP benefits could be impacted. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I think it's ridiculous that every few months we are threatened with a government shutdown because politicians refuse or fail to do their job. We shouldn't be happy. We shouldn't be having these discussions and always being brought to the brink because of disagreements over policy and forgetting that real human lives are being impacted when these shutdowns happen. So I want to hear from you about what you think about all of this shutdown business in the comments. But before I let you go, let's talk about Medicare and the mission that I'm on right now. Currently, I am on a mission to help 100,000 seniors get peace of mind about Medicare. Why is that important? Well, you have earned it. You've earned your Medicare. You've worked hard enough to pay into this system, and now it's your time to reap the benefits. But here's the thing: 90% of all seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan. Why? Because we sometimes assume that the government would just put us in the right Medicare plan. But that's not what happens. The government expects you to find the right plan that is best for you. And so my job is to educate you around Medicare, create and share guides that I have, all the research that I've done, put it in bite-sized chunks that you can then get information that you need to make informed decisions. And then I also want to connect you to the best Medicare resource and support that is out there. Now, being in the wrong plan has consequences. It costs you your money. An average senior spends about $300,000 on Medicare out of pocket costs in retirement, and it affects your health because there is nothing worse than needing medical care and not having the right care. And so, with headlines like this coming up every single time, 1 million patients lose coverage as insurers, hospitals drop Medicare. There's so many changes happening. United Healthcare dropping Medicare Advantage plans affecting 600,000. Everywhere you turn, there is some crazy news about Medicare. And no wonder seniors cannot keep up. And the Trump administration has been suing medical advisory companies that have been misleading seniors. You put this all together, and it's easy to understand why 90% of all seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan, because not only do we have 24,000 plans out there, it can be confusing. And that's how our partner Chapter comes in, because Chapter is not here to sell you anything. They are not here to push anybody's plan. They're here to help you find the best plan that meets your budget, the coverage that you need, the prescription coverage you need, the doctor networks you need to be in, the hospital networks you want. And that's what they are there to do, to give you the information to make the right decision. We've sent over 2,500 of our viewers like you who have called Chapter and gotten that peace of mind about Medicare that I keep talking about. You too can achieve that peace of mind by calling Chapter today at 539-205-2147 or going to askchapter.org/insider. Now, your question is, what would they do for you? Well, they would look at your current Medicare plan, and if you're in the right plan, they'll let you know that, and then you're done. If you're not, they will show you all the options that are available to you. Remember, some Medicare plans are specific to where you live, your state, your region. And so they will show everything to you, and then you have the information to make that critical decision that is going to impact your health into the future. Now, here are the people you'll be talking to when you call them. They have licensed Medicare advisors that are ready to take your call. And if you rather that they call you back, then fill out the form that I'm going to include in the description or in the comments to this video, and they'll call you back. Guys, these guys are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. There are tons of 5-star reviews that I've been sharing in my videos constantly. They are the real deal. That's why I'm working with them. And you too can achieve the peace of mind about Medicare that I've been talking about. And did I say they can save you $1,100 a year? In today's hyperinflation environment, $1,100 goes a long way. So give Chapter a call today. You are not going to regret that call. So that's all I wanted to present to you today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section below. If you like what you heard, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow.